the call to order for this mapping meeting of the majority minority redistricting subcommittee for Wednesday, June 15th. The meeting is called to order at 6:07 p.m. A roll call. Adrian Kissy. Give me 1 second. Constance Graves.
Present.
Dominic Mazza.
Present.
Donna Bullock. Kashana Owens Cody.
Present.
Larry Malden.
Here.
Pretty Mather.
Present.
Sam Mather.
Present.
Marie Allen Campbell present. So I know Pretty she sent us some materials. Did everybody get a chance to look at them?
Yes. When did she send them?
No, well, I was about to say I didn't see it.
Right before 5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. No,
I-
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Is it possible to put it on the screen? I didn't go back.
I can put it if you would like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be good.
Okay. Kashana, if I could get the authority to share my screen.
Kashana, can you send Jeff the link?
Yep.
Oh no, I lost my pen. So I'm sorry. So Pretty, she sent us some stuff. One was, that is it.
Yeah, it was the analysis. You wanted the numbers for large dolls maps that he had submitted on the 30th.
Right.
May. So we did that. So here it's a very short PowerPoint that I'm going to run for you. And this is the map that he had submitted. And here are the numbers that he has for this map. And then he had submitted another one that same day. And this one was going into Manans, kind of like our plan C. And this one was once again a 7-district plan, kind of like our revised plan B. So these were his numbers, and the numbers are pretty close. So that is what I had sent. I had also sent the shape files for our plans B and C so that they could be put on the website. And I had also sent associated maps, which you all have already seen.
Yeah, and so since then, Lars has submitted 2 additional maps. Pretty, I
One.
think.
One
Oh,
more.
is it one?
Yeah.
Okay. One additional map, which he just recently submitted, and I sent the map and the shape file to you, Pretty and Sam this afternoon.
Yeah, and I did take a look at it. And it is it is like his previous map. It is more like this. And in this map, he is not only going into Manans, but also getting a piece of Colony,
Waterville,
not Waterville, Colony.
Colony, okay.
Yeah, a little piece here, which is a part of Colony. So that was the difference. And other than that, it seemed like a little bit tweaking here and there to get the percentages over 40. So I looked at it, it kind of still looks like our plan C. And I looked at the numbers and they are pretty much, you know, districts 1 and 7 are sort of a challenge in our 7 district plans. So the numbers range from 39 to 41, 42, that type of stuff. So it is pretty much similar to what we have our plan C, which is Manans, with Manans. And other than that, a few tweaks here and there just to get the percentages. And if you increase the percentage in one district, it decreases in the other. So that type of stuff.
And Pritchie, this is Jeff. You're talking about the 40% range being the black plurality.
Jeff, there's something going on with your phone.
Okay, I'll try again later.
So these were his 2 maps, and then I can now show you. Last time when we had left, there was this talk about including a category where if a non-Hispanic Black, if he said that he was white also, to include that in. So we have done that, and I would like to show you the data and to show you what sort of percentage difference does that make. So I'm going to close this and share another PowerPoint that I have. Okay, so here we have included that variable that we talked about because that was the variable that was used in by Judge Khan. So
Oh, is this the DOJ?
that's correct. This is the DOJ variable that we talked about that Jeff Weiss and Lisa had talked about. So we went back and we looked at our plan A and we added this variable, which we called DOJ, non-Hispanic Black. The definition here is anybody who said they were white as well as Black, that was included in here. And you can see that we see a difference again of about
You're
two.
not sharing it.
Oh, I'm not sharing it, so sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, where is it? All right, so let me run this PowerPoint. Okay. And once again, I have the non-Hispanic Black category as well as the DOJ variable, so I can show you what the difference is. And this is for Plan A that we did. So these are our original non-Hispanic Black percentages that we had used. And then this is the DOJ variable where anybody who said they were white as well as Black, so we've included them. And if you can see that there is a slight difference for, and here we have given you the numbers, and we have also given you the percent difference. So the percent difference ranges from less than 1% to closer to 3%, depends on, you know, how the data is. So here for Plan A that we have, our revised Plan A, initially we had 46%, but with this DOJ variable, it goes up to 48%, 48.74%. So you can see the numbers where we had 47, now we have 50. So we went back and we did it for all the plans. And you can see the actual differences versus the percent difference. So we get a little bit more because we are going back to the pool and getting all those people who said they were white as well as black. Okay, so that was our Plan A. This is our Plan B revised. And once again, you can see the differences are there, you know, ranging from 1 to 3%. And here you can see some differences. So there is a slight gain. And so here where we had 39%, we are now showing 41%, and slight differences in 5 and in 7 as well.
I have a question because so if the censors say, and I put on the censors the DOJ and I say I'm claiming both black and white, is that the case?
Yeah, if I see, like we talked about in the questionnaire, if
But
I said I was black and I was also white.
So do they get counted twice?
Well, there is a different way of looking at it because then they come out of the non-Hispanic white. So there is a way where it gets added up and they're like not counted twice. And Jeff, you may like to explain.
Well, what you just explained, when you count yourself as black and white, you're not counted simply as white anymore. You're counted once as black and white.
But okay, so if you count it as black and white, and we're showing the difference on black, then the column that says non-Hispanic black, like let's take the first one that was at 40, right? At 40%. But then when we go over and we see it went up to, when we add in the DOJ, it goes to 43%. So we're counting them as black.
Well, you know what happens is,
No, there are people that weren't previously in our numbers.
Okay.
Well,
but they're showing up as under the the black percentage. I guess I'm trying to figure out, we're just automatically putting them under to show an increase in the black percentage and not an increase in the white percentage?
actually what happens is last time when we spoke about it, we were just to add the non-Hispanic black population. But when we look at this DOJ number, then the whites, it comes out of the white population. So when we use this, there are categories of variables. And when we started, we used the numbers which are not double counted, everything adds up. Okay, and then DOJ variables is a different set of variables. And then if you just use the DOJ variables, then nothing is double counted. So here we were told just to add the DOJ variable for non-Hispanic black. And that is what we are showing because we are concerned about just the minorities. But this difference that you're seeing is going to come out of the whites so that they are not double counted. But right now we are just showing you the DOJ non-Hispanic.
Oh, pretty. Are you saying that the percentages for non-Hispanic whites have not been adjusted?
Here we are just showing you non-Hispanic black, but if we were to look at the whole category, then there would be adjustments in all of them.
So basically, when we look at the DOJ numbers or whatever, what I'm seeing is what you're telling me is we're going to see an increase in the non-Hispanic blacks, but
Yes,
but we should also be seeing a decrease in the non-Hispanic whites.
yeah, it would be. And we just focused on the non-Hispanic Black population, but yeah, they are not double counted.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah, I think this is more for information's sake, that show, rather than actually calculating it, because the numbers that you have on the left side, the ones that we have used earlier, are all totaling up to 100%. And this will be another set of variables. If we use all these variables, then they may total up
Oh,
to 100%.
I mean, why would somebody who responded that they were non-Hispanic, white, and black, why would those numbers show up under non-Hispanic white? They shouldn't, right?
Like I said, Marie, there are different set of variables, right? So we use this non-Hispanic Black variables that we used initially, and everything adds up to 100%. Then we were told that, which was just a week or two back, that we should get the DOJ variables, and we should just get the DOJ non-Hispanic Black so that we have it there just in case we were asked. But those are different set of variables. And if we just and typically what happens is either you use these variables or you use the DOJ variables. And so from the very outset, we were using these, and then we were told, just get the non-Hispanic Black, because just in case they ask in the courts. So we have the other data set as well, but we just wanted to highlight the changes in the non-Hispanic Black population.
So
But for the people that would have indicated 2 or more races, would those numbers have been, those numbers, they would not have been reflected in the numbers that you gave us, right?
What we gave you, we have a whole set of variables, but we were just focusing on non-Hispanic Black, non-Hispanic White, Hispanic. And then we have an other category in our database. We also have Asian, and we have another category which includes Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders, people of 2 or more races. So we have that, but in this table, we are just reporting these important categories for you.
So, but wouldn't the DOJ non-Hispanic Black numbers, wouldn't those be new and outside of the scope of the data that we've been looking at?
Yeah.
It is, you're right about that. But then, Jeff and Lisa said that, well, we should bring this in just in case we are asked about the DOJ non-Hispanic Black population. And by the way,
So I'm just asking because you're like indicating that the non-Hispanic white numbers in these charts would go down. But why would they go down if it was somebody who indicated that they were white and black?
hey, Jeff, you want to chime in?
I think they'd be in a different category. They wouldn't be white, they wouldn't be black, but they'd be shown as black and white. And I think what Priti is saying is that to compile the numbers, for these charts, she added black alone and black and white together. Am I right, Priti?
Yeah, that is the DOJ variable.
That's the DOJ number. But
Right.
why would that have any effect on the non-Hispanic white numbers?
What, Marie, what happens? Okay, I'll let Jeff handle.
Yeah.
Well, Priti, yeah, I can't do the numbers on where I'm working right now. So I think what Maria's asking, if I'm correct, is by adding the black alone and black and white together, how does that impact the white alone column?
Didn't impact it, right?
It does impact it. If you look at the DOJ non-Hispanic white, the numbers are slightly, just like you're seeing here, they're slightly, they could be same, they could be different because it's a different set of variables.
So you're saying the non-Hispanic white numbers that we have been looking at have included people that were non-Hispanic white and black?
No, no. See, what I'm saying is that the way the data is tabulated, see, everyone submits their questionnaire, right? And based on several things here, what we were looking at, just pure categories. So these non-Hispanic blacks do not include anybody who said they were white also. So these are like the real numbers. But then,
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So when you add that DOJ column, that should not change any of those other numbers.
exactly.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Just for information.
Yeah, this is just for information, Marie, that if we were to include these, then our percentages may, for non-Hispanic blacks, may go a little bit up. So this is an informational column, but these numbers are as good. Yeah, they're good numbers. That is what we've been working with.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that because
okay.
before there was a discussion about the non-Hispanic white numbers would go down. And I wasn't understanding why they would go down since we're not talking about non-Hispanic whites. We're talking about a whole nother category.
Exactly.
Yeah. If I could just go back to the question I had when my phone wasn't working, where you could hear me. In Lars Dahl's new maps, the minority percentages that were in the 40s, those are still black plurality numbers, right? For the most part.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm still concerned that by creating a plan claiming to include 7 effective, so-called effective minority districts in the low 40s, it still might not make those districts effective because the numbers are low, and by crossing into other municipalities, then you'd be going against overall public comment and the need to try to keep communities of interest together under the guise of simply creating 7 so-called minority districts, which might actually be 4 or 5 effective districts, as opposed to creating a plan with 6 districts that would be much more realistically effective districts. And again, this is something that once we can, once you let us know where you are with the reconstituted voting analysis, where you run these districts over the numbers that the election results, we'll see if the districts are effective or not.
Yeah.
Jeff, I just need to correct one thing you said. You said that it would go against public comment, and it really would not go against public comment because most of the comments that the MMD has gotten has really indicated support for a 7-district map.
Right. But there's been
now we do need to, of course, we need to pay attention to the numbers, but so it's not going against.
Right. No, I meant where there was comment against going into Manans in particular. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, there was comments against going into Manans, but
yeah, that's what I meant.
I mean, that's a consideration. It's not
right.
a wall.
I do want to mention that the latest map that we got today from Lars it goes into Manans, which is, and it also picks up a piece of Colony. A very small piece of Colony.
So I haven't actually seen a picture of the map. I didn't get a chance to like look at it.
I can show it to you. Once I'm done with these, then I can
Okay.
show that.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Yeah,
this, go ahead.
go ahead. Well, my recommendation overall is going to be to try to be supportive of the plan that creates the most effective maximum numbers of minority districts that you can. And also in doing so, I think the plan that you posted on the website does this, is to join or group Black and Hispanic communities together to the extent that it's compactly possible, which satisfies first the Federal Voting Rights Act, and second the spirit of Judge Kahn's 2015 decision.
Yeah.
So that's really our eye on the prize.
Yeah. And as you can see on this table, we are showing that we are Hispanic and non-Hispanic Blacks here. And this one is our Plan C, which includes part of Manans. And once again, just want to highlight that this variable, if we were to use it, gives us a small percentage up. And then we have the 6 MMDs where we are seeing stronger percentages, and they get a tad bit stronger if we were to use the DOJ variables. So in the last meeting, there was this discussion to add this data. Our update is that we went back and we added it to all the plans that we have made so far.
Okay.
Now I want to show you a large map if I can. Let me find it. Just give me a second, I'm pulling it up. So these are his, this is his newest plan. And the black and white line that you see is our current districts. So these are all majority non-Hispanic Black districts. And I do want to show you the municipalities.
Are these plurality or 50% plus majority?
It's all plurality. Nothing is over 50%. So let me add the municipalities so I can show that to you.
That's in our maps also, right?
Yes, that it's very close to our Plan C, which goes into Manan. Just
Yeah, I think the only maps that we had that went over 50% was like the initial.
the
it was
5
in the
districts.
initial map.
Yeah. So here, this is what I was talking about, that Manans is here. And then we have a part of Colony, this little piece of Colony into our 3rd district.
Is that Colony or Waterville?
I mean, where is that?
No.
Can you zoom in on that?
'Cause
Yeah,
that looks-
I can. See, I can. And Waterville starts over here. And this is Colony. So if I were to look at this is Colony. And Waterville is up there. And he's not touching Waterville, but he's taking this piece from Colony. And let me show you what the area is, if I can. I'm just going to get the base map on. And 1 second, I'm going to do something here. Oh, okay. So you can see it's this part, and if we were to look at how many people he's taking from Colony, let's do that as well.
So where is that? High Street?
Okay, let's show you about 400 some people. And if you were to see where we are, there are some apartments, Village 1 apartments.
Oh, that's going out Albany Shaker.
No, this going out,
I'll turn on the neighborhoods also so you can see what they are.
The Village Apartments are,
I saw Village 1 and that's out in Manans.
yeah, but she's saying that Manans goes into Colony. He's
Yeah.
going, yeah, okay, so that's Manans, that's out Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's right across well, I'm looking, that's almost like the border of Waterville too, right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
it's right on the, yeah.
Hey,
right.
Village 1 apartments are in Manans.
Mhm.
Yes,
So
right
on
about
the
there.
other side, whatever this area is, about 400 some people live in there.
Mhm.
And we have about 128 non-Hispanic Black. And so all my thing is, that we are going into Manans, which was okay, but now we are also going into Colony. So that is all that I had to say. And if I were to bring in our plan C, then I can overlay it to you and show it to you that it's very similar, but I think he's doing something where maybe in District 1 and 7, his percentages may be a little bit stronger. But regardless, like Jeff said, that, in ours, maybe it's like 39 and he's somehow been able to bring it to 40. But regardless, they're all pluralities and nothing can be said, until we get that data to say that it's an effective district.
So are we only able to get majority minority districts with 5?
When we say majority over 50%, let me show you. Let me go
Yeah, I
back.
don't think the only ones we have are the ones that were like 5.
Yeah. Otherwise, we are going into.
I mean, and it's not to say that we have to be over
See
50.
here in
50%.
our plan A, Marie, in our plan A, we had
Well, we had 3 districts.
3 districts which were majority. And even if we looked at voting age population, we had 2. But then when we went to our nothing is over 50 and we are closer in some places, but nothing is over 50 when we look at 7 MMDs. And if we go and look into Manans, Plan C, in District 2, we are getting almost close. If we round it, you can say it's 50%. But And then if you look at the 6 districts, they are somewhat better, but still a plurality. Nothing is over 50%.
Mhm.
So that is where we are.
Mm.
And even if we go to the DOJ variable, we are getting close in some places, but not really. Yeah, we are getting at least one if we look.
So
at-
it's only one district that's 50% or more
Yeah,
No, none
on
are,
Plan D.
None of them.
none are.
none of them, but if we say, okay, if we are looking at,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
when you look at the the DOJ numbers.
yeah, so
Right,
that
right.
also is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, you didn't get a chance to do the numbers for that last map that was submitted, right?
I did do the numbers, Marie. I think I haven't put them on the slideshow, but I did do the numbers for them. Let me open them up, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is what I did. I did do the numbers for Lars maps. The latest one, which we got today, this afternoon. So these are the numbers, and this is the one that looks like our Manans, our Plan C. So whichever way we look at it, it's all plurality. The other thing that, Marie, that we also may need to look at is that while we are focusing on non-Hispanic Black population, we may also like to look at this Hispanic and non-Hispanic Black, which
Right.
definitely makes things a majority.
Yeah, his numbers in some of the districts is pretty strong.
Yeah, his numbers in District 1 and 7 are a little bit stronger, but then they go weaker because it's the same population. It gets a little weaker in the other districts.
So NLC for District 1, we have 58 points. Well, but this doesn't have the DOJ stuff.
No, the DOJ numbers are here, Marie. I did that too.
Oh, I mean for our Plan C.
For our Plan C, okay, what you don't have is, yeah, here we have them. This is Manans, yeah. His District 7 and 1 are, they are over 40%, but then the others are also in the 40% threshold. So it's like you take it from somewhere else to bring these up to 40.
Okay. Can you send us that chart for his last map?
I sure can. Yeah, I will be able to do that. Actually, soon after the meeting, I'll send you this whole thing where you have the DOJ variable, everything, so you can see.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, because we don't have the DOJ stuff.
Yeah.
So that would be good. And I
Mhm.
sent you earlier also the map that the ACRC is, the 39 district map that is gonna go out. That has our Plan D incorporated.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw that, so we can take a look at that as well.
So anybody have any other comments or questions?
I'm still a little confused about the DOJ and how the DOJ numbers get incorporated because, in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, the DOJ numbers should cancel themselves out. In other words, if you put down both black and white, then when you look at those numbers, do you count those numbers as part of the non-Hispanic black, or do you count those as not as part of the non-Hispanic white? And then the question becomes, if you count them as part of the
I don't
non-Hispanic,
think, I mean, my sense is that they wouldn't be included.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That they would be like their own category.
All is they're doing, from what I understand, is showing what those numbers look like and what the impact might be,
Exactly.
but they're not part of the analysis. Is that a fair
Because the
statement?
numbers, I mean, the numbers, no person can be like double, triple counted.
Right.
And nobody's gonna make a determination if you said you was black and white, whether you should go to the white category or the black category. So
Okay.
when we're looking at non-Hispanic white people, those are all people that said that they were just white. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So those numbers are just strictly for informational purposes.
That is
Well, it's not
correct.
informational because I mean there's other people that identify as two or more races. There's people that could say that I don't know,
Three.
they're white and Hispanic, or I mean there could be other combinations of races, but they're not going to get counted all over the place.
But if they're not counted as part of our analysis, then what's the purpose? I mean,
If I could
Well,
answer that,
basically what they said with the adjusted state data that we have to use, it provides data for non-Hispanic, white, and black, but it does not provide it for other combinations. Is that correct?
That is correct too, Marie.
Okay. So I think when we're looking at non-Hispanic white numbers, those are people that said, yes, I'm white, no other
Yeah,
race. When we're
exactly.
looking at non-Hispanic black, those are people that said, I'm black, no other race.
I'll talk to you in
The
10 minutes.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, I just never ignore that statement.
No, that's all right, but is that correct, Pretty?
Yeah, that is correct, Marie. Here, all the categories that you're seeing here, that people said, if they are black, they just said they were black. And that is what is showing up here. If they were white, they're just showing up here.
So
This variable is what if, those people, just showing about those people who were white as well as black. So this is not part of our analysis, but it's just for information purposes.
that's what I'm saying.
That's what confused me. If it's not for our
well, it's not
use,
included in the numbers that we had already.
Exactly.
But there are numbers that the DOJ would look at and would consider. And so, I mean, they could increase our percentages and stuff that we have, but it's not like we're adding them in and taking something out because these numbers are not in our data.
Yeah, I'll just remind everybody, the reason we wanted to make sure we had this column was because in 2015, Judge Khan based his decision on using CVAP, and should in any situation where litigation develops later, a future court might look to see what the CVAP data was consistent with what the last court looked at.
Jeff,
Yes,
this is not CVAP.
I'm sorry?
This has got nothing to do with CVAP.
No, what I'm saying is that Judge Khan in his decision looked at CVAP.
Okay. Yeah, this is strictly PL data coming from the
Right.
state adjusted. Yeah. Okay, just wanted to make sure that
Right.
we're all on the same page.
So basically, the DOJ numbers that we have here, those numbers are there for what, I mean, they're there to, as I'm saying, they're there for informational purposes because they are not being included in our non-Hispanic Black or our non-Hispanic White or the Hispanic categories, are they?
They are not included.
Okay, so they're not included. Those are the categories that we're using to basically determine our districts. Whether we have 5 districts, 6, we're using those categories, right?
Yes.
And those numbers, the DOJ numbers, are not included in those categories. So I really don't understand the significance of having the DOJ numbers except for information.
It is
I mean, the
information.
DOJ numbers can help our numbers, but the DOJ numbers are, it's something that courts look at. That's the
Okay.
purpose for having them.
Okay. I mean, I'm not against having them. I'm just trying to understand a
Why
little.
we have them?
Yeah. I mean, if they're there because we're saying those are what courts look at, but they're not exactly part of the numbers that we're using to do our analysis to come up with our districts.
Yeah.
Is
But
that
maybe they should be.
well, but then you'd have to determine if you use them, you'd have to come up with some way of determining them. How do you determine which category to put them in?
They would be in their own category. We wouldn't put them in, we wouldn't say that they're white if they said that they're white and black. And we wouldn't say that they're black if they said that they were white and black. They would be their own category.
Would they then have an impact on the overall percentages and numbers?
I would say yes. That's what pretty is showing us, the difference.
Okay.
Right, difference numbers. That's what she's showing us.
Okay.
Basically, it's a more inclusive variable. So if anybody has said, they were white as well as black, or white and Asian and black, whatever, so it's a slightly more inclusive. So these are totally pure variables where, people said they were just black.
Okay.
Anything else y'all want to talk about? Kashana, do you have anything?
Nope.
This is Jeff. I would just like to ask Arkbridge how the progress is coming along working on the reconstituted election results.
That's going pretty good. We have all the numbers for the elections for each precinct, and now we are in the process of assigning them to blocks, de-aggregating them to the block.
So when could I tell Dr. Hanley she should be able to see something from you?
I would like to give ourselves another 2 days just to
Okay,
make sure that it's all good and QA/QC it, make sure the numbers are right.
okay,
And just a quick thing for you, that there are some precincts where a candidate got only 1 vote. And there are like 10 blocks in there.
okay.
So
Well,
we-
the numbers are what the numbers are.
Yeah, so just wanted to let you know that those are the things that we are looking at. And Sam, do you want to add anything?
No, that's pretty much, so some of the precincts have very low numbers, very low voting turnout. And when we divide them into the blocks, the numbers come in like decimals. So that will be a challenge to how to interpret that for your functional analysis. And that's exactly where we are, looking at to see how better we can present this data. And also, in the bellwether elections that we are looking at, the Black candidate did not win in the MMD district. So that's another thing that has,
That's District 6, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is District 6. So it's an MMD, but the MMD candidate, the minority candidate did not even win.
I believe it was District 1 as well. One of the candidates did not win.
For 6 for sure.
6 for sure.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, of how strongly can you make any judgment based on the functional analysis? Because, is it really an indicator of the future elections to come or not? That'll be a question that we'll have to think about.
And also.
I mean,
also
none of it can really be 100% indicator, right? Because there's all kinds of things that can happen at the time of an election.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is
So-
true.
to
And
influence
one more
results.
thing, in one of our bellwether elections, there were 2 minority candidates. And one of them did not win, and one of them won.
Yeah, two minority candidates, and one got the maximum votes, and the difference between that candidate and the white candidate was only 5 votes. And the second minority candidate got the least amount of votes, and the difference was pretty big. So
how do we conclude, that race is?
Race is the factor there. So that's something, those are some things that we are kind of looking into and see how best to address those.
What district, was that District 1?
Yes,
Was it?
Yes, this is one.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the
anyway, we are
South end, I think.
working with the numbers, so.
Okay. Jeff, do you have anything responsive to the concerns that they just raised?
I think we're getting the data. We're seeing, I mean, my next step really is to share the reconstituted election results against the plan that you want Dr. Hanley to look at. I think that's going to be the most conclusive support for the best plan.
Yeah, I mean, once we have those numbers done and shown on the map, then we can make, some judgment on how best they reflect. So that would be one of the factors to make a selection of which plan we want to use. But I would, say because of the, different anomalies, I would say that should not be the only factor, but that should be one of the factors that should be considered.
So in the information you compile, are you gonna like note those anomalies?
Yeah, I mean, we'll share the data with you. We don't have it as of yet, completely done. So once we, have the data ready, we'll see, what it shows, and we'll share all that with you all.
Okay.
And then, and then we can jointly look at it and see what what indicators are we getting from that.
But
Okay.
one thing for sure, that if we make more than 5 minority districts, then nothing is in majority. If we just look at non-Hispanic Black, but if we look at minorities as a whole, which is Hispanic and non-Hispanic Black, then we have pretty strong minority districts.
And some of that has to do with the loss of population
Yeah.
in the MMDs
Mhm.
and some limitations into how far afoot you could go to pick up additional minorities.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next meeting is Saturday morning.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we're good. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion that we adjourn this meeting. If there are no other questions.
I will second.
Okay, if there's no other questions or discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion has passed.
Hallelujah. Good evening, everyone.
So everybody enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of the week.
Okay.
And I will see all of your smiling faces.
Oh, Marie,
Marie,
I have a question
Yes, yes.
about Saturday. What time do you want us down? Everybody's got to go down to the Juneteenth.